welcome back. It's the Feel It, Heal It podcast, and as you can see, there's no one here with me, it's just me. So, yeah, I'm just on my Todd. It's me, myself, and I just wanted to do something a little bit different this week, and just have a little talk about like the current energy and what feels like is going on at the moment. Not for everybody, but just for a select few that I can feel for myself, the people that I'm picking up on, and the people around me, and probably the people that will come in contact with this video. So I pulled some cards before I started, and they really correlated to a post that I put up on Instagram the other day about being in this phase of withdrawing and moving through changes and energetic shifts. So from the cards that I pulled, I will show you them in a minute, it just really feels like that we're being called to pay attention to what is going on internally, and to pay attention to the cycles in our lives, in our bodies. For women, the cycles, when I'm talking about cycles, it's like our periods, when we're ovulating, when we're bleeding, like the cycles of our hormones, acknowledging them, and then with the acknowledgement, then honouring them. And it really feels like it's that aspect, but also the cycles of our life in general. Like, we have periods in our lives of being out there and smashing goals and being inspired and moving through the world like quickly and excitably and meeting the right people at the right time, and everything just seems to be building and building, and the energy's like found its momentum. Whereas I feel like, especially with these cards, for some people and for a lot of people, and myself definitely included, that isn't this time, that isn't for right now. It feels like this is a time for stillness, and it's a time for tapping into our inner voice, our inner wisdom. It's a time for being still, being quiet, and finding out what is our intuition saying, what are our guides saying, what is spirit trying to say to us. And when we're out doing the most and we're out seeing people and we have all this energy to connect and to interact with people, we don't give ourselves the stillness and the time often that we need when we're in this phase. And that's why there's this sense of feeling like I need to withdraw. And it feels like that's what's going on for people, some people, myself included. It's kind of like we're being made to feel, okay, let's close off for a little while, because you need to listen internally. You need to hear what your inner voice is saying, as opposed to listening to what's going on in the outside world. And it feels like there's changes going on, and we're being called to make changes, big changes, scary changes that we can feel like we're just not equipped for. But trust me when I say this, no change comes and no change is required unless we're ready, unless we're equipped for it. There's no challenge, there's no change, there's nothing in life that we are given without being equipped for it. We're not. We wouldn't be called to do something that we're not capable of doing. So if you are feeling like, I'm ready to make a change, I'm being called, I'm drawn to make this change, but I'm scared, that's okay to be scared, but just don't let that fear rule you, because that fear, it's just fear's a funny one. We have it installed in us, and it's put in place as a way to protect us as a way to protect us and as a way to keep us safe. But there comes a point where that safety net is now pulling us back. And it feels like that's where we're at the minute. We're gripping onto our safety net. But in the gripping onto our safety net, we're stuck. It's like our feet are stuck in the safety net, and we need to cut ourselves loose from it, because now that fear and that safety net's holding us back, because we have the capacity to fly, and we're being called to fly. And we have a choice, and it's about getting still and tapping into that inner wisdom and that inner voice and saying, I have a choice, weighing up your options and then making that choice, deciding, being like, right, okay, these are my choices. What do I choose? And your inner wisdom knows the answer, but you just need to get quiet and still so you can hear that. Because these cards here are very much like, so we've got blossoming, cycles and rhythms, peace, inner wisdom. They're very much saying that this is the outcome. This blossoming is the outcome. But we just need to make the decision and the choice to get there. If we take that leap, we're going to be further than we could even imagine and we can even fathom. But it's just about cutting that safety net loose and taking the leap. And I really feel like that's what's going on for myself and a lot of people around me and the people that will be coming into contact with this video. And I wanted to speak about like the way society views achievements and goals and success. And I think often this time of stillness and quietness can be looked upon as in like, oh, you're in a bad place, because we view success as ticking achievements off our list, off committing to our to-do list and getting everything done, and that's how we view success. And that's what we want to be doing, when actually this time of stillness and quietness is more important than when we're flying and when we're checking everything off and then when we're achieving. This time of stillness, the gunkiness, when we're working through and we're still and we're quiet and we're feeling through our emotions, this is the important bit. The part where we're like flying and we're achieving and we're out there for the world to see, that's the easy bit. And it's this part that we're in at the minute that is allowing us to get to the part where we can fly. And if we resist this part of the sitting with ourselves and acknowledging and feeling our way through what really, really is coming up and being asked for us to look at and to sit with, we don't get to the part where we're ticking off goals and we're out there for the world to see. This part of our journey, the stillness, the retreating, it's just, if not more important than the part of our journey where we're like flying high and out there for everybody to see. But I just don't think the world sees it as that way. And I don't feel like this part of the journey is as respected or as valued, because it can get hard. It's not easy all the time, and depending on how resistant we are to this part of the journey, it can be hard. The more we resist something, the harder it feels. And the easiest way to move through this part of your journey is to let go of resistance to it. It's to literally say, do you know what, this is where I am. I'm here and I'm okay with it. And this is another part of that journey, that process to moving through. And there's, like this card said, the cycles of our lives. Like, we go through these cycles where things have to die off. And whilst things that we've outgrown are dying off, it can feel a little bit like we're in limbo. And it feels like that's what's going on for quite a few people. Like, we've outgrown the old version, and even our surroundings, like, we've completely outgrown it, but we're not completely... It's like our world around us hasn't had the time to catch up yet. So the universe is like orchestrating the things around us to change, so our surroundings can match where we are at energetically now after the journey that we've been on. And it feels a little bit like that, like we're in the process of dead ends being cut off and things falling away that we've outgrown. And it feels a little bit like limbo, like we're not 100% in this new version of ourselves yet. It's like we've still got one foot in an old version and one foot in this new version of ourselves. And so that can feel tricky as well. And I think what that can bring up when we're moving through that process is fears around, like, well, who am I? Who am I in this new version? Because I don't fully know this new version. I'm getting to know her, but I don't fully know this person. And that's scary, because even though there's parts of the old version of us that we've outgrown, and we can see how that old version keeps us in places that we don't want to be anymore and that we've elevated from, at least we know them. At least we know that. We know what the old version of us is likely to react like, what they like, what they dislike, what triggers them, and what makes them happy. And I think the tricky thing, and the thing that keeps a lot of us stuck and in fear, is we don't know who this new version of us is going to be. Like, where they're going to live, who are their friends, what do they like, what do they not like, what triggers this new version. And it's kind of that getting to know you all over again that can be scary. And the old version is safe. We've known this old version for however many years, and I think it's that process of like moving into this newer version, and that's new and can be scary in itself, but then what else comes with this newer version? And I think it's all of that can keep us stuck and stagnant sometimes. But I just want us to take in and to acknowledge, like, what is the other option? There are no other options. For me personally anyway, the way I see it is you either grow or you stay the same. And staying the same has got you to this point now. Yes, there's been elements of growth, but it's got you to this point now, and you're ready for more. You are ready for more, and you can feel that you're ready for more. But you will be required to step up and behave like you're ready for more, because the universe can only take us so far. We have to take accountability. I'm saying I'm ready for more. What am I doing that is bringing that more to me? Because we're required to take that step. The universe will help us and spirit will help us, but we also need to take the action to help ourselves. And I think it's all of that. It's all of being in this phase of gunk and transition, and not fully the new version, but not the old version anymore. And where do we need to step up and take accountability for making the changes that we want to see in our lives? Because the universe can only help us so much. And also letting go of resistance to this phase, just because we're not in a place of expression and inspiration, inspired and out there with the whole wide world, this part of our journey isn't any less than that part of the journey. If anything, it's more important, it's more, this is where we learn, this is where we really get the chance to take in the messages of our own intuition. This is where we really get the opportunity to hear what is being shown to us and what is being brought to us for us to listen and to learn. This part of our journey is so insightful, and the quicker we let go of resistance to it, the quicker we can start enjoying it and just being like, this is where I am. I'm here now. And here isn't going to last forever. There will be a point where this part of my journey comes to an end and I'm reaping the fruits of this part of the journey. But it's letting go of resistance to it, because the longer we resist it and we're like, no, I don't want to feel this, I don't want to be here, it's a battle. It's literally like this battle inside of us that it doesn't bring any peace, and it doesn't allow us to feel at ease in our bodies and at ease in our minds. It keeps us fighting with ourselves. So just let go of the resistance to where you're at right now. It's okay to be still, and it's okay to not have so much to share with people or the world, and it's okay to want to be by yourself right now. For the people that are feeling that way, that's okay. And this is just a little part of your journey, and there's so much more parts of your journey to come. But this part is vital. It's just, if not more, vital than the part of your journey when you're out there for the world to see and you're achieving. This part of your journey is a bigger achievement than that part, because it's here where we learn. And what is more important than knowledge? There's not many things more important than knowledge in my books anyway. So yeah, I told you this will be a short and sweet one, as it is just myself. But yeah, I just really wanted to share that message, and I wanted to do this alone, and just share with what I felt like has been coming through for me at the minute, for myself and for others around me. So yeah, thanks for listening and watching the Feel It, Heal It podcast. I will be back in a couple of weeks.